right, so I am trying something new today with the playing around with the going live thing because I've never done that before. And I might have to shift around my lighting actually a little bit. So I can get just a little bit more of my lights in here. Or I might have to go back to the big light. Let me see. I don't know, maybe. I think it likes the big overhead light just fine. Alright, that puts some shadows, so get rid of that. And that guy is locked behind stuff, so I can't get that forward. Alright, so I will try my best. Oh no, it's just a artifact of the camera then as I'm getting shadowing here. Alright, I'll try my best to stay working out here. So I was wanting to play around today with some fall color mixing. So I pulled out all kinds of colors. And I've got my bin of my big fat blocks. And I have a little notebook to take some notes with, trying to keep my rollers and stuff tucked off to the side. And yeah, so let's try to get a little organization here because that's going to make life much easier if we can manage some of that. So I was looking on Facebook and found just a couple of little that and that. I'm loving these earthy gray purples. I'm loving these mushroom colors. I like that for a golden yellowy tones. I like that. Yeah, good olive up there. I love that, but they're calling eucalyptus. And then on the other camera, I'm seeing that soft warm navy is more blue, but on my phone, the color I'm going to be working towards is a little bit more, I don't know. It's like a little toned down. It's a little bit, yeah, I can't get that camera to look right, but whatever. So yeah, oh, and this mushroom taupe, that's really pretty. And then I always work on some sort of off-white. And I actually like something in that dusty rose too. So yeah, that's kind of the color palettes I'm aiming towards. So I pulled out everything because you guys know me, I'm so ADD, it's ridiculous. So yeah, so I've got a basic rainbow. Not sure how many of these I will end up getting into or not, but it's nice to have just a good starting point. So I pulled out alizarin crimson. I don't need to open that package because I have it open already here. So that's my alizarin crimson. This mustard yellow is a pretty good, I think it's mustard. Looks like it was mustard before it wore off. That's a pretty good yellow tone. It's not like bright fluoro. I don't want anything fluorescent. I want everything toned. So this is already pretty toned, but I think we can work with that a little. This orange is called burnt orange, and to be honest, I hate it. I don't know why, but every time I've played with it and worked with it, I just don't like this orange. But I wanted an orange, so I'll throw that in the mix just in case we decide we want that. Forest green is a good green to work with, but the funny thing is, you guys will laugh at me when I do this, but I'm probably going to mix this down with white because it gives us this really fantastic teal. Now, I don't know why white on forest green goes here, but I love it. So this might be the cornerstone for mixing out some other stuff. So that's why the forest green is in here. Navy blue, because I wanted to play with that muted navy. So I'll probably just tone this out with a little something. We'll try a couple different metallic tones, probably see what we can't tone that down with. And then purple, because everything's always going to have some amount of purple in it in my life. And then I have, this is burnt umber. Yeah, burnt umber. So just a nice good brown. I had another one of those pulled out. I don't need it. Sorry. This is bronze. I have one of those open. I've actually got two of those open. So the unopened package needs to get put away. Peacock pearl is the other thing that often gets mixed into stuff. So I have that there. Probably going to do my mix with the gold and see if I like that. Mint green, I believe. This is a package color, obviously, because it's still like that. So that might be in there. I'm not sure. But anyway, so that's some sort of, I think it's mint green. That is a package color. I grabbed copper. I grabbed antique gold. I grabbed 18 karat gold. This is like my favorite color, but it's bright. So I'm not sure we'll end up playing with that as much as we will the other golds, because I want to kind of tone it down. I had a pile of this. It's metallic color. I think it's coral, sunset pearl, I think it is. Let's see if I have any. So I was on sale at somewhere. Yeah, sunset pearl. It was on sale at Joanne, I think, when they were going out of business. So I ended up with a lot of it and mixed it down. So now I'm actually down to just a couple bars. I had like 10 or 15 bars of it. So I mixed it and found that it mixes out really into some cool colors. So there's a little bar of that. Let's set that in the pile. This is Spanish olive. Now this is a good toned down green. I think we're gonna like that as something to base our colors in. This one's terracotta. I probably have another package of it somewhere if we run out, if we don't have enough. It's already a good fall base color. I like it a lot. So we'll definitely be seeing what we mix that into. So yeah, that's my base colors. Oh, let me go through these two. So then I've got actual gold in big bar. I can't find it in the big bar again. I'm sad about that. Keep the big bar of silver. So, and then I've got a big bar of black. Remnant of a big bar of translucent. This is actually souffle latte, but again, it's just, it's a good toned down color. So I might actually tinker with trying to mix it out of Premo just so that we don't get the texture change. Not that I'm opposed to the texture change, but we'll see. Let's see how much mixing I end up doing today. And then this is just plain white, big block of white. I buy a couple of those at a time because I go through a lot of that. This one is ecru. Yeah, ecru. So, and the bad big dog is bad big dogging. So yeah, I got a little slice of that already ready to go. And then pearl white is also another good one. So the interesting thing about this is it doesn't whiten things up so much as it just mutes them a little, because it's technically translucent mixed with a pearl mica rather than a heavy white. So my current favorite thing has been this with the terracotta and a touch of white, and that's been my recent just off-white. So it's got just a little pearl to it, it's got a little warmth to it, and it's not as nondescript as if I just use the pearl, because if I mix the pearl and the not terracotta, what color are you again? Ecru. If I mix pearl and ecru, it's a really pretty color, but there's still a little bit of see-throughness to it. So I put a little bit of white in it too to make it stabilize, so you don't get the blendy effect as much. If you want the blendy effect, then it's really nice. But sometimes I use this as like my between colors layer, and I want it to actually have an effect of keeping the colors changed. Oh, and then back to, so that's a mixed color. We'll get to that in 1 second. 1 second. So, and then I've got, again, some silver. I've got some of the graphite floating around just because those were in packages. So I pulled those out too. Okay, so yeah, and then this is 18 karat gold cut half and half with translucent, because I do that a lot. I like that works like that. So then there's another chunk of translucent. So yeah, and then I'm not sure what color this is. You think it's a scrap from something, but I want to try to make this. So I've got a few that I want to try to make happen. I don't remember what that is. So yeah, I want to make this happen. I'm struggling to remember if this is a package, one of those new fun colors in a package, or if I just mix that out. I can't remember for sure, because it's definitely got some metallic in it. So it's either that like metallic aqua, or it's something I mixed up or made up. And then this, I love this color for the earthy, look at that. It's like fun. So I'm going to try to remember what made this. You see all that, all the metallics in there? So this is why I was going to mix out my peacock pearl and 18 karat gold. I'm pretty sure that's the base in this, and then I think I added some browns to it because it was in a Skinner blend. I might still have a chunk of that Skinner blend somewhere. There it is. So yeah, I'm pretty sure what that was is this Skinner blend that I haven't rolled out yet. I think it's that middle color. So that is I love making this brown. This is black, and this one, copper, I think. Yeah. So it's like 3 parts black, 1 part copper, something along those lines. I love that dark brown. And then this is the peacock pearl and gold. So I think that's how I got that tealy, browny, greeny, just great earthy color, was that what happened in the middle. So I want to mix up a chunk of that because I really like that a lot. Yeah. whole bunch of bullseye canes. Yeah. ADD's fun. So much stuff everywhere and none of it makes any sense. All right, so one more side table space open back up. That looks like navy, so that goes in the pile by the navy. So now we have colors, and now I made a mess instead of organizing. So the colors I want to try to play with and matching out is I want to work into these guys a little bit. And then this was another color I really liked that I worked out. And I'm pretty sure this was one of those when I was playing with the Pearl Sunset. That's what that is. So this was mixed into like probably terracotta. And that made for a really pretty color. And then I mixed it in with peacock pearl and got the most outrageous purple. Like, it's a great purple. It's super, here we go. Yeah, so that's, I think 50-50 peacock pearl and the sunset pearl. And it's just got such a great purple. Like, I've been using this a lot. I love it. I've got chunks of it mixed up, but it's not enough. I'll probably run through it soon. And then I believe this is that same sunset pearl mixed probably with 18 karat gold or with the regular gold. I can't remember which. Can you see me? Yeah, so there's a lot of metallic in it. And again, it's just a fun, oh, that is that color. Okay, there we go. It's the thing about pearls is whatever angle, like so if they're all mixed up versus not mixed up versus chopped into, it's like the color changes on the angle, which is the point, but makes it hard to gauge. So yeah, that's this. And this is awesome. So this is 50-50 of the sunset pearl and I believe the regular gold because I had more of that at the time. But it also might be the 18 karat gold because I mixed that into everything and love it. So it's one or the other, but I think both would be pretty similar. So I'm probably not going to mix any more of that up, but I might take that and mix it into other things to see what those blends do. So, and then like I said, then I've got my off-white. I'll probably mix another chunk of this because that's all I have left. So, oh, and then the one more thing I wanted to put in my list of things to try to match is this is Cernet's like antique gold or antique bronze or those colors, but it's just, it's goo. Like I can't use this. So it's terrible. So I 50-50'd it with some Cernet translucent and that worked. But yeah, I want to see if I can figure out a mix to get something similar effect in my earthier idea. So yeah, that's that was what I wanted to play with. So let's start with these greensy, tealsies. Let's play in this department. Sorry guys. And brand new camera stand, so I have no idea what that's gonna translate to over here either. Let's make some of this stuff go away. It's my extra bricks. Go away. Go away, go away. And then I might have to split this up into a couple parts because I might have to go take care of the babies. All right, so let's see if we're playing greens. Let's start with greens and teals. I'm going to put all my metallics laid out so they're easy to find over there. I'm going to green here. We may end up in that navy blue, so I'm going to leave that. And I'm sure that's the green and white, so I'm going to leave that in my zone. So the rest of that all over there. Don't think I'm going to be playing with that at the moment. You are still a metallic. You are not a metallic. That's already mixed. You're not a metallic, but you're good to tone it down. Those are metallics. And those are kind of extra. All right, so pop you aside because for right now we're just going to be thumbnailing to get some idea. So like I said, this one we're going to have to make up that brown, or do I have some of that brown already mixed? I believe I do. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, that's the brown. So this is, and wait. I don't have this mixed up. All right, so that's one of the things I'm gonna have to do is mix that up. So we're going to want our, I don't have an open 18 karat gold. It does not look like I do. So we have 18 karat gold. I've got some peacock pearl. Sorry guys, the pasta machine is loud and annoying. I have no idea how YouTube's going to render the volume, so we're going to have to deal with it for a bit because it just is what it is. All right, so that's one of the ones I want to mix up. I'll figure some of the rest of it out later. Okay, so I'm going to start here because I know this mix and I love this mix. And I start usually by kneading it a little bit just to see if it's soft enough to get through the pasta machine. And through. Work on a 0 for now because I just need to take that out. And then I need a bar of that. Thank you. And give you a little flex and a little push so it doesn't quite want to just mush down. So I will hit it with the roller for a sec. And out on a 0. I'm trying to get it to a relatively square shape so I can get a cutter to match the other. Alright, so give me some square cutters. Is that about right? Alright, so hit you here, hit you here. And extra can go back in this little container for now. And I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty relatively equal, but I want to make sure that everything is actually flat out equal parts. It's nice to work with a cutter. And they almost always leave a little down, so I usually just grab it back up with its corresponding color. And then we're just going to, actually, for the fun of it, let's just do even, almost even. Let's run it as a Skinner blend just to see what it does. So this is one way to test out our colors. Actually, the way I usually start is a little bit, squishy, 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 and just see if we're anywhere near in the ballpark of a good idea. So a lot of times I'll do this just to test out my color idea and see if it's going to give us something we like. So do that for a minute, and even though it's not mixed 100% thoroughly, you can tell that's going somewhere good. So we like that. Just take that right in the middle because that's like a 50-50. No wasted clay. All right, so give me a second on the volume. I'm sorry, guys. Let me run this out. So Skinner blend, you all should know this. If you don't, here's the goal is you keep yellow on one side, blue on the other, and bring the mixed edge together, and then just keep running it through. If it starts getting wider than you want, right now I don't really care. It starts going wider, so I'm going to push it in a little bit more. The other thing you can do is work up against the edge of your roller guard. And now we start pushing it back in. And then I can, whoops, yeah, I got sideways. Do that. There. There. The other thing you can also sort of do is something like that there, just so it helps to guide it, but to be honest, that's more annoying than anything. Typically, so that gives us a nice idea. So normally, the color I usually mix to is there. So it's just a nice, fantastic little teal tone. I'm not gonna lie though, there's something about there that is giving me the fall vibes. So I think I'm gonna mix one of each. So that would be like 2 parts 18 karat to 1 part peacock pearl. And then this is my normal. So I'm just gonna mix this out. That's a 1-to-1. I love watching it mix. It's always so fun. all the funky lines and different bits of color that show up along the way. So, there we go. So, pretty teal. And it's strikingly different than peacock pearl. But pretty, and it's still got tons of metallic in it. So, and then now you can see that that's in the same family as that nice rich brown dark color. That way. So yeah, that's definitely the right thing. So let me go ahead and make sure I get you guys exact notes. I'm gonna make sure I'm taking notes too. So we're now 1 peacock pearl, 1 part, I'm gonna go some long ways here. 1 peacock pearl plus 1 18K gives us, we're gonna call this metallic teal. It's just metallic teal. So now we're gonna mix this bronzy, blacky bronze color up. I think it's pretty good on our earthy palette. It's on the very dark side, and I might want to, so yeah, might want to play with that one a little bit. It's kind of on that cognac, kind of giving me that cognac vibe. So it has a place in here. I like this though, that soft brown gray beige. So I might play with this. I might mix this into some other stuff. So let's mix up that so you guys can see it mixed. It's going to take a little cutter. Let's add a bunch. Yeah, mix up a bunch of that because I use it a lot. Yeah, we're sticky here. That's no collection. So start with a roller, beat it up a little bit so it'll be small enough to squish through the pasta machine. There we go. How the effect the orientation of the microparticles has on the color. Isn't that wild? Love it. And roll you out. Okay. So that's nice and stretched. Don't mix into there yet. I'm not ready for you. Okay. At the moment, I know we're going to want one. Go ahead and cut another just to set aside for the minute being. Curiosity. This might be one where we're going to want twice as much of the teal color as we put in the bronze, but actually, that's giving us something really good too. Yeah, I kind of like that an awful lot. So yeah, that's another good one. So that is 1-to-1 with bronze. One bronze. It's a good color. So now back to what we were doing. Stay on point. I can do it, I swear. Not doing you yet. Not doing you yet. Go away. Get out of my eye line. All right, so an extra square of bronze because I just do. I'll set you over there. Wipe off my tile. Keep it easy to work. Okay, and then I need black. I believe I have that out anywhere, so that's got a little mixed in it. Ugh. This particular bar of black is so soft. Where did I put my, there we go. Keep the cutters handy. Nice firm cutter for digging through blocks. All right, I need, I think it's 2 or maybe 3, so I'm gonna make sure I roll out enough of that. Go back up in your little spot and get put away. Alrighty, and this I know is soft enough, it's just gonna run right through. And it's gonna work with that block a while. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. So while we're trying to figure out what the actual ratio is that I typically use for this, go sit with your black father right there, back on your pile. All right, so 1 bronze, 1 black. Let's see what we get. Already, that's 1 to 1, and it just earthies it up a lot. So I'm liking that better than this. Not better, just different, but I'm liking that. All right, so that was 1 to 1. Nice color. So I'm trying to get to a nice dark color that we're trying to mix. So add me more espresso. Now this is 2 black, 1 bronze, if you can hear me. Now we're getting to definitely brown. Sorry, now we're getting to a definitely brown color, but I still want it darker. So 1 more. Alright, that's the color, I think. Hold on. You know what? It might be 4 black. No, it's 3 black. Yeah. Yep. 3 black, 1 bronze. So 1 bronze. Dark bronze. We're gonna name it. All right, so now this we know is two parts because it was 1 part gold, 1 part blue. So I'm going to grab 1 of these and 1 of these, and still need to mix up a chunk of that, but I'll do that later. So I am going to mix it together, and then I know this is a whole nother part, so I'm going to mix that into this copper because I liked that color too. So now I have a container to hold some of this. I'll put this aside for later. Open sesame, thank you. All right. Ooh. So I want that with teal. All right. And love that part. It just starts peeking in with the whole color showing. You still get the color. This is really cool for, hey, let me show you guys something. This is really neat for doing like a really intricate little bit of slicing on. Because you get all those funky layers. And it just lets that color come through. That can be kind of fun for doing a little bit of a Makumigane-esque. Because the colors are mixed so tightly. So yeah, sometimes I'll play with that, but anyway. ADD. Sorry, guys. Always gonna have tangents. I like that. I'm gonna have to play with that later. All right, so this is the part where I would have diverged into a whole nother idea, and I'm trying to stay on point. I can do it. God, I love that. I love the mixing. All right. Well, I need to make more peel. So that is not this. So it's definitely a lot more parts of this and fewer parts of this. However, I think we found our mushroom brown. Yeah, that's my mushroom brown, I think. I might again play with that. So let's go one metallic teal plus one dark bronze equals, we're going to call that mushroom bronze. And I think that'll let us play with some other stuff. All right, so now we have a mushroom bronze. I don't want to use that. But I feel like I should keep mixing it out. Okay, so that's... Let's try to get to this color, because that's what we're doing. And then I will make those other metallic teal and bronze. Yeah, all right. So this is one more part metallic teal. So it's going to be 2 parts metallic teal, 1 part dark bronze. Parts or 3? Oh, that might be it. Nope. Still more mushroom, but it's a good color. So... now, that's also a good color. That's even more mushroomy. It's more subtle. I love these almost indistinct colors for the fall type stuff. So, I'm going to give that one a name too, maybe. I'm going to call it mushroom. It's almost a mushroom gray. All right, so 2 metallic teal, 1 dark bronze, mushroom, mushroom what? I don't even know. Guess it's a mushroom teal. We're getting more there. And then now we need to mix up all this. So often the easy way to do this if you're working out of blocks is 1. That's up a second. So now I've got 3 parts there. And so I won't, looks like that's a little more. That's probably about even. So too chunk. I could wait if I wanted, or I can just try to run it through. You need to be out of my space for a moment. You need to be out of my space for a moment. You are just surplus. Go over there. And we got to watch for that. Definitely be aware that roller is clean. And you're not just leaving messes on things. Okie dokie. Ooh. I probably should have done this in individual strips. Because, yeah. I've taken some muscle. I don't need to pretend to be strong. I am getting to be an old lady. I need to accept that fact. And gold usually rolls out pretty easy. There we go. Squish down. Squished mostly down. There we go. And squish you mostly down. So I'm still working this at a 1-to-1. So, yeah, watching colors mix. Okay, so we need to add one more part teal to that. And I'm not going to keep any of those. I'm just going to have to remix them in a minute. This is now 3 parts metallic teal. Write it down. Plus 1 dark bronze. So pretty. Yeah. Looks like a really good blend for playing with the Kunigani. Getting all the blending into each other. Yeah, we'll be playing with that later. Okay. No, we're still 1 tone off. Alright, so she flattened back out. I don't remember it being that much teal. And we're definitely getting there. It's got a lot of gold tonality too. That's really interesting how it's doing that. So we're now up to 4. For that one. That's crazy how much it's taken to get to where I want it. Yep, so we're still, I guess it's 5. really good color too. Like a sage. I really don't remember mixing that like that. It's crazy how much of this it is. Things are fine right there. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, that's finally it. Okay. So yeah, that's finally it. So that gives us our dark teal. I think it might be just a hair off, so I might have just pinched some. Actually, no, if I want the teal, the true teal version of that, I think I'm one more. Pull that Skinner blend piece back over. I'll find it again. There it is. So, come on. So I thought it would have been right in the middle there. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking there's a little bit of something else mixed into that, because it's probably scraps off of something. So yeah, this was the color we're aiming at for in here. And I think this just has something else in it also. So it's not technically that color, but it is pretty much that color. Might have just been more teal. There it's sitting there. It's looking pretty close to it, but oh well. So good enough. I'm happy. So we're going to call this our dark teal. So it's 4-to-1 is dark teal. It's almost like a dark forest teal. All right, so, and then I wanted to play with the mushroom. Right, you need to get put away. And usually just pull them up into chunks and set them aside for now. If I was very smart, I'd pull out more of my little containers. Oh, just so you guys know, my containers, these little things, that's a Amazon bead boxes or something along those lines, but it gives you a little, I don't think they came in this case, obviously, because they don't seem to fit right. So I think I just turned it into this, but I'm mixing up a bunch of colors, so let's do more of those. If I remember correctly, it's actually, they're in little cases like this that are loaded up with those, but I think I swapped them all around because I started using these cases to hold all my big chunks of mixed colors. So yeah, and then I had that extra one sitting around. But anyway, yeah, so it's like they come like that, but they're just little bead organizers, and they work great for storing clay. And I have yet to have any clay, and they've been in them a while, have any clay react with them. So they seem like they're the right plastic. PP05, whatever that means. Yeah, they worked great for storing clays. So, and however much I mixed of that is the right size to fit in a little container. It gets smushed a little, so I'll have to pull that out once it hardens up from sitting around. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell in there. It's just a little bit more green. It's not as teal. So I bet if I throw another part of peacock pearl in there, that would get me to here, would be my guess. Because you see how much gold is showing up in that now? So it's probably just that whatever I mixed this one, I probably had another part of peacock pearl in there. Not 50-50. But trying to keep it so where I can keep track of it for you guys. So. Alright, so then the other thing I wanted to mix out is I really liked that one. Roughly. And then I liked doing it with just the copper. And oh, there we go. I have it. Ah! So, was it a whole? Yeah, let's do, was it one with the bronze? Sorry, bronze, not copper. I apologize. It would be, ooh, let's try with copper. So this is my 1-to-1 with bronze. So while we're mixing it, I don't like this mix. Isn't like making me happy the way the other mix made me with the black in it, because just something about it, it's a little too much red, too jarring. But the red is the reason it tones it down, and basically we're trying to make mud, but not muddy mud. So normally I wouldn't have expected to like this much, but that is exactly the game I want to play with making earth tones. So essentially it's 1 part bronze, half part peacock pearl, half part 18 karat gold. And we just got a nice little earthy color there. Just the slightest bit of red in it, slightest bit of gold. So I think I really just want to call that an antique copper. That's nice. All right, I'm going to name that one. 1 metallic teal, 1 bronze is antique copper. Or actually, let's call it antique bronze because it is bronze. Okay, and then I wanted to take that, and for curiosity's sake, what does happen if we throw it in copper? Did I have copper open? It does not appear as though I do. Come on. Give me, give me. I might have to mix up more of that. Holy smokes. All right. Ooh. So, borrow copper. Just grab one of you guys off the end. Can't remember if that is quite that cutter or not. So we're going from bronze to copper. And let's see what that gives us, because I have a sneaky suspicion I'm going to like that. Away. How long have we been going here? Does it tell me? Oh my gosh, it's already been 8 minutes. So I might have to take a break and go check on my mama dog. But actually, I do have the cameras on her. Let me peek on her. Oh, she's resting happy. Call her baby. Baby seems content. He was born 2 days ago. I can actually leave that up. We'll run through my battery, but at least I can keep an eye on her. Make sure she stays happy. Interesting. We're going like sagey green here. Oh, that's awesome. Holy smokes, that is such a great color. All right, holy cow. So yeah, that's a win. So what have we mixed up so far? Should actually keep just a little. Where'd my squares go? Just give myself a little piece here. A little piece there. Ah! Well, that got mixed up. piece of you. I think I want to try, that is, so I wouldn't have thought to do that if I hadn't said copper out loud, and then like, oh, what does it do with copper? So that is a metallic, one metallic teal and one copper, is about the prettiest sage green I think I've ever seen. That is just, it's stunning. Hoping you guys are seeing that. So we're gonna call that metallic sage green. Okay, so I got a little dial of that. And then if I have enough to make one more square, I might be able to get you into a square. So if I'm having trouble getting it to fit my cutter, sometimes I'll play with like squishing it nearly that shape and see if I can get it to roll into. And now it'll fit the cutter. Yay! So just a random ball of that teal left. So what I wanted is I wanted to do it. Oh, that's the shame, is if I take a piece of that out, it's not going to be evenly. Take a half a piece of this out. It's going to give me more or less what I'm trying to get at. Okay. Clean up. Trying to just soften that copper out. Not copper, bronze. There we go. Yeah, so that's more that earthy tone I'm trying to get to. Okay, so I'm gonna nab that. That's, I think, better in my opinion. So I don't know, would you still call that an antique copper? Kinda. So remember that gold I was trying to match? I'm not saying that's exactly how I get there. That's interesting. Okay. So you need a name now, because we were calling antique bronze, but now one metallic teal and two bronze. It's a very, very, very earthy bronze. Okay. I have one of those. This I'm in love with. All right, put you guys in little boxes. If I was really smart, I'd be putting little stickers on these and naming them. Because I'm going to forget what I named what. We'll go see if I have a red on white ball. Pen floating around. I do. It's purple and it's got a flat tip. All right, so we called this metallic sage green. I'm calling that my earthy bronze. We're calling this guy, what's that, dark teal. That's my 4-to-1. It's dark teal. And then this is my black bronze, or my dark bronze. Okay, is that all we've mixed up so far? Oh, and then we have our just basic metallic teal. I don't think I need to label that one because I know that one pretty well. All right, so I am going to plop these guys onto a separate, what cutter do I have out and about? Oh, I doubled you up. That's what happened there. And you might be stuck. There we go. That's my, why are you stuck? Since when are you stuck? You go in the front. Go there, you go there. All right. So, I did need one of you. Plop you up, plop you up, plop you up, plop you up, plop you up. So, that's the color palette we're currently playing with. So it was starting with my teal, and then we went 1 copper and 2 coppers, and then this was teal, or less teal, more brown, the dark brown, and then this is our sagey green, which is what we got to when we added some copper, not bronze. So bronze, more teal. Actually going to put that this way. So there we go. And then this is the dark that we got lighter. And then I did kind of want to mix that out in the darker color too, because this was what, 1 step before that. Yeah. So we had a few phases into the brown. So let's just play those out real quick. Wasn't it? So I have 1 square of that and 1 square of that. Actually looks like it's going to be about, and then I added more, yeah. So it's going to give me this is our 1-to-1. Could mix it faster. That is good. Oh my god, that is just such good color. Okay, I will be playing with that later. There. And then that appears to be, yeah, it's roughly 1-to-1. So this gets us our next tone. Actually, it could have been a 1/2 to 1. This is more like 1 1/2, but is that color, so I need like 1/2 of one of these to get to that in-between color, I think. I messed up the math. Sorry, guys. It's approximate enough. That's it. So that's the browner one. That's the slightly more mushroom. So that's what I'm going to call a mushroom bronze, and then a mushroom teal. And then that one's our dark teal. And then that's the original peacock pearl and 18 karat gold mix. And that's to 1/2 part copper, and that's 1:1 with copper. And then copper is, oops, sorry guys. And then copper is this awful red color. All right, so yeah, so that's, and then this is it with, wait, that's dark bronze. Sorry, bronze is that awful, and this is it with copper. I keep mixing that up. That's copper. So yeah, I still like this color too. So this is just gonna get chunked in over here because I'm not gonna actually mark that one out. Now, remember not to touch the top of those containers because those are wipeable. All right, so, oh, let me go ahead and get myself one of these guys too, just because that is something we mixed. Me. Just set you right there. That black is so soft. This color is just like gooey. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's dark bronze. Okay, dark bronze in the dark bronze container. All right, so yeah, so that's the amount of the palette we've already played with, and I'm liking that. So the question is do we want to work this teal any other direction and see if we can't get, I'm liking what happened there. So what I am curious about is mixing it. Yeah, let's keep playing here. I'm going to set that up out of the way. Hopefully nothing will bump it. Keep my cutters out so I know which ones I'm working with. So we're at the point now where I need to open up more peacock pearl and mix up more of that. There. There's my peacock pearl stash. Alrighty. I'm going to say that is roughly half and half. Close enough for close enough for government. Hi, Lucy. What you doing, Lucy? Lucy, can you say hi? Lucy, want to say hi? Come here, baby. You're a good girl. What? She always wants outside. There's my lizard huntress. Yeah. Really is the perfect peel. All right, so back to that. And now my question was, what are my other options for metallics to tone down? So I have antique gold, which is already kind of a greenish gold anyway. Guess I don't have that open anywhere. I don't know that there's, let's see what it does. Why not? I'll just mix a little piece of it. You now need a container. It's so weird how some of these blocks are oriented wide and some of them are oriented tall. And the tall ones have to get squished to wide to fit. Yeah, since this is already such a greenish, so that's why, that's my complaint, is that this is such a better It's warmer and it's not greenish. I don't like how this one leads to green. So at some point we'll get to playing with that idea. But for right now, I don't mind the greenish because I'm going into something green. And I probably wouldn't mind the greenish if I was trying to work it into something, it would probably have a nice effect. Okay, so we're going to just go 1 to 1 and grab a little one. So I'll start there and see what I get, if that's worth mixing out anymore. Pretty. To be honest, it's not much different. And it's basically, if I'd have just stayed with the 18 karat gold, it probably would be a very similar color. Let's just plop that there. Let's throw that on the, I need to not just leave that random place. Wait a second. Oh, that was the older one. You go back there. That is where you belong. That's why you were stuck. You're the new one. All right. Again, ADD at its finest. Just extra. I'm going to stick you over there. I'm going to grab you and put you up here. So that's copper. That's 18, or that's antique. Yeah, it's just a kind of a goldy teal, which would be as is expected. One metallic teal, one copper, or one antique gold. Ant gold. I'm going to call it ant teal. Why not? All right, so there's that. Now, the next one I want to try is, you guys are going to probably call me crazy. I'm curious. Ah. This is regular silver. Oh, that's crumbly. Alright, I'm just going to cut a piece because I'm going to get much happier once that gets to mix in with something that's not crumbly. You get in there, crumbles. Alright. Clay sucks. Oddly, brings us to a bluer tone. Fascinating. Right? That's pretty too. Call that Arctic teal. It's actually that's a pretty color. Wouldn't have thought mixing 18 karat gold and silver and a little peacock pearl would go there, but it did, and I like it. So Arctic teal. So 1 plus 1 silver. Alrighty, that will make a very pretty Christmassy color, like trying to do snowflakies and stuff. That's a good one. Alright, so I'm just going to run that down in this line of mixed with metallics, and then there's a spare piece of that. And the next one is going to do graphite pearl. You guys being so difficult to open. Not positive that's straight up graphite pearl. I don't think it was. It might be like a 50-50 or something from another day. Let's the hard part, is once it no longer has the stripes of being in a block sitting in one of those containers, I can't tell if it's a box color or just scraps that got mixed up. That is also a little bit firm, but whatever. Alrighty, and mix you out. Something tells me I'm gonna like that. Yeah, it's amazing how much that graphite pearl takes over. Interesting. Where's graphite pearl back? Come here. Wow, that takes over. So I'm tempted to do it 2-to-1. Let's see if I don't like that a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. That's a good color. So again, we're just toning off from green. We're toning off from graphite. We want just a little something more subtle. There's my little scrap bin from just those little tiny mixes I've done. Just what a pretty color palette, right? So yeah, that's where I love mixing metallics into almost everything. Stop being crazy. She says she needs to go chase some things. Yeah, tell me about it. What a fantastic color palette even just that is. Stop. Okay, so now, Lucy, you're insane. We're not going there. We're not doing it. I know the lizards have reset. It's like starting a game over every time that door opens. You gotta let all the NPCs get back into their little places, and then you open the door and you see if you can't catch them this time. I know your game. I know it. I know. I know your game. I know it. Can't you be like the other good kiddos sleeping? No, you can't see them. Alrighty. So, yeah, I like. Now, do we want to stay working in greens? Do we want to do the same treatment to purple? Do we want to do this treatment to that weird silvered purple? Or, you know, I don't think I've ever run this treatment on just straight purple, like package purple. I've mixed it into a lot of these metallic colors, but I don't think I've ever played that game. Let's give you a container, and I've already filled up all the containers I pulled out. It looks like I'm going to need more. All right, so, boop. And I'm gonna need more 18 karat gold, it looks like, because I am out of that. So, or am I getting lost on what my actual plan was? Running off in purples, let me double check my mama dog. She's still relaxed in there. He's probably nursing. Let me check the other camera. Nope, he's just napping. She's not eating. I have to go harass her to see if I can't get her to eat a little bit more soon. Give her a little something to settle her tummy, so hopefully she'll be calming out. Okay, back to our original. There we go. So yeah, the next thing I wanted to play in is getting these earthy purples. So question is, That is kind of that idea, isn't it? Do I want to play from here with the hypermetallics? Or do I want to start with straight up purple? Let's start with a block color because I don't even know for sure that Sunset Pearl is accessible still. So yeah, let's just start here. What, Big Mama? What? All right. Apparently, I'm going to take a break, and I will come back and run through the purples because the dogs have decided it's time to go play. Okay, Lisi, I will let you and the minions out, and I will come back shortly. How do I end this? I've not done it before. X? Yes.